A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow's Season 11. I'm Ritvika Gupta. Today we'll be showcasing highlights of the recently concluded Gitex Global 2023 in Dubai, bringing you all the action and insights from two visionary entrepreneurs making waves in the tech world. In the first segment, we are bringing you a conversation with Aahan Bhojani, founder and CEO of Silkhaus, and in the second segment, we speak to Rishab Chandra, co-founder and CTO of Task Tracker.
In the heart of innovation, amidst the dazzling lights of Dubai, Gitex Global 2023 marked its 43rd edition, bigger, bolder and brighter than ever. This year, technology giants and dynamic startups converged, revealing the boundless potential of the tech universe. We connected with the future of innovation and met two extraordinary entrepreneurs, Aahan Bhojani of Silkhaus and Rishab Chandra of Task Tracker. Their vision and passion left us inspired. They are leading the charge, driving tech forward with unparalleled insights, proving that the future is brighter than ever and championing the Indian entrepreneurial spirit one day at a time.
Now, Silkhaus is a Dubai-based platform for short-term rentals and a tech-first hospitality brand. Aahan Bhojani, founder and CEO of Silkhaus, spoke to us about his journey, emphasizing its decentralized model and technological advancements in the booming prop-tech market. Abhishek Sengupta bringing you that conversation.
Aahan Bhojani, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule here.
Thank you for having me.
At the Gitex. Let's start with your origin story. You're the CEO and founder of a prop-tech company called Silkhaus. Now, this is fast becoming a destination of choice for travelers, investors. What really prompted you to start Silkhaus after graduating from Harvard and Yale? And what really is the story behind calling it Silkhaus?
Yeah, a few things. I think I really came at building this company from a consumer perspective. So I had found that in my travel experiences as a student and as a professional, I really love staying out of Airbnbs. I love the long stay format. I like the ability to personalize the space as my own. I like the homeliness of it, and I, of course, like the price tag of it. But what I found was that Airbnbs were just not professionalized in our part of the world. Our part of the world being defined as the GCC, where I was raised, India, where I'm from, and Southeast Asia, where I spent a lot of time. So I really came at it from the perspective of a traveler. I had one formidable and sort of, foundational work experience where I was actually leading the product team of a tech company in Boston that was in the travel tech domain. And it was there that I had an aha moment where I saw businesses were not, they were really beginning to look at alternative accommodation and short-term rentals relative to hotels. So it was a unique moment. I think there were a lot of confluence of factors, but it's been a great time to build this business in this part of the world.
Why Silkhaus?
Yeah, great question. I think Silkhaus has many meanings to me. I think there are three that I'll talk about. One is the Silk Road. So minus China, we're focused on Central Asia, we're focused on the GCC, South Asia, and Southeast Asia even.
And you're bang in the middle of the world. So
exactly, at the crossroads, literally.
Yeah.
I think also we're using technology to make alternative accommodation from a consumer perspective as smooth as silk. So, there's that connotation as well. And then the last thing, if you think about what silk is as a material, it's a universal material, you find it everywhere. But actually, if you localize it to each domain that it's from, it's a very different material. And that's sort of, how we perceive alternative accommodation and property management. It will be locally specific, but there are global brand standards and sort of approaches that we're going to take as a company.
Tell us how you actually meaningfully engaging emerging tech to really give the experience that you're promising.
Yeah, so great question. I think fundamentally, if you think about our class of accommodation, we call ourselves decentralized hospitality, meaning we could have a 300 unit portfolio across one given city, but in different buildings and in different neighborhoods. In contrast, traditional hotels have those 300 units centralized in one domain. So what technology actually most fundamentally allows us to do is run this decentralized hospitality model with very low human capital. So there's a few implications of technology. One is, of course, on revenue management and pricing. So today a lot of AI is actually driving pricing, but that's the first and foremost use. How do we expand the size of the pie and distribute our inventory in as many different channels, as many different websites, and as many different destinations as possible? And then, of course, how do we price it efficiently? That's number one. Number two is on the customer experience. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Today, we're able to provide 24/7 service over WhatsApp. And we do it through a combination of course, human interaction, but in good part, thanks to chatbots and, sort of 24/7 bots as well. So there's a lot of automation happening in the back end that the end user doesn't see, but certainly experiences and feels. And then, of course, operationally as well, how do we run this giant portfolio of units across the city to a certain standard? It's through the use of technology. It's through partnering via API with other third-party service providers who seamlessly integrate into our CX. So there's a lot happening, but I think what's been really interesting is this space is hugely immersive and highly fragmented. So it takes a certain scale and size and sophistication in terms of level to be able to really leverage technology. And that's where we're at the forefront.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of that you've been showcasing heavily at this Gitex and also at the Expand North Star.
Yes.
Where you were meant to give a talk just the day before, but I believe because you've just become a father, and congratulations.
Thank you.
For becoming a new dad.
This is startup number 2 now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really deliver the talk, but I'm sure you're talking about your emerging tech in front of a platform that we've never seen the likes of. I mean, there are about 1,000 VCs, 100 best startups from around the world taking part. Tell me, how does this platform help the ecosystem, the Dubai startup ecosystem as a whole?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think events like this are not very common over here. We do have a couple of grand events, but none at the scale of Gitex. So back when I was growing up, I was born and raised in Dubai, Gitex was really a consumer electronics fair. It was where new companies came to talk about new products for the market. Today it's very different. It's of course a technology exposition, but it's a chance for tech-enabled companies to tell their story to the entire world. So I think it's a very high visibility moment for startups such as ourselves here. It's an opportunity for us to tell our story. It's an opportunity for us to actually learn from other companies coming to the region. My next 2 days are replete with meetings with other prop techs, just exchanging learnings. And it's of course an opportunity for us to meet other builders from other parts of the world. So it's a fantastic platform. I think with the way that the government has really put it together as well, the diversity of investors and stakeholders that they've brought to the table has been incredible. So it's a unique once in a year moment for us.
Just around 12 months ago, around this time, you raised just under $8 million in seed fund. How easy or difficult was it to do so, especially out of Dubai, which still continues to attract a majority of the region's startup fundings and almost 95% of the funding that UAE receives as a country?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think raising the round was definitely it was a unique experience as a first-time fundraiser. I had built businesses before, but never with external capital. The process of raising money was actually a very tight-run process, I would say. I was very clear from the beginning that I wanted global investors who were the best of the best in prop tech specifically, and the best regional local investors. Now today we have a scenario where there are many different excellent seed stage funders here in the region. They exist out of Dubai, out of Abu Dhabi, out of Riyadh, out of several other cities in the GCC, but today there is an environment that we call an investor class. 5 years ago that wasn't necessarily the case. So at the earliest stages I think we had good coverage, locally with investors. What we did was we went and spoke to the international investors first, really validated our hypothesis, our story, our business model, and then we brought the best of the local ecosystem on board. We also had extremely supportive and very value additive super angel investors from the region. These are individuals who had built businesses themselves, scaled them, and even sold them at one point. So that's really good guidance for me as a first-time entrepreneur. So in terms of what the ecosystem is now, I think it's a very rich ecosystem today. Something unique has happened in the last 2 years, whereby a lot of investors have chosen to domicile themselves in the UAE. So both out of Abu Dhabi and out of Dubai. And what that means for entrepreneurs such as myself is that global allocators are sitting locally today. So it's very encouraging. I think as opposed to having to take a flight to meet or a Zoom conversation to meet a given investor, we can do so just down the road today, which allows me to really build the business.
Talking about the prop tech market, since you are in prop tech, It's somewhere around $18 billion at this point in time, but projected to grow over $86 billion by about 2032. And the short-term rentals market, which is about 100 billions at this point in time, is set to be about $250 billion by 2030. Now, these are astounding numbers. How consciously do you keep these figures in your mind when you're planning expansion, if at all?
Yeah, great question. I mean, every day we're looking at these figures. And the reason is we're only so good as the market is. So, as a startup, I think there's this saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. The short-term rental market has grown year on year for the last 3 years by 11.1%. So that's actually expected at the median level of companies. We have actually grown our company 180% over the last year. So that's really where we keep tab, right? We sincerely hope to be outpacing market growth. That's something that really rallies the entire team. And I think that's something unique to the DNA of startups. It's this ability to go out and disrupt and really create value in ways that are not typically done. So of course that will taper over time as the company becomes bigger and we normalize to what the market grows at. But it's my aspiration that we'll always be hopefully 18 times above it.
Aahan Bhojani, wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much.
And hope to see you in India very soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, before slipping into a short break, we are excited to announce the return of Leaders of Tomorrow Awards this year, and nominations are now open. The theme for this year is Innovate to Elevate. So if you think you've been pushing boundaries and exploring new horizons, please do apply, nominate yourself or your organization on leadersoftomorrow.co.in. On that note, we'll take a quick break here. Back in just a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. In this segment, we are chatting with Rishab Chandra, co-founder and CTO of Task Tracker. Now, Task Tracker is a versatile SaaS-based task management tool. Abhishek Sengupta caught up with Rishab to discuss the growth of the company and its expansion into the UAE market, highlighting Dubai's role in fostering innovation and supporting startups. Listen in.
Rishab Chandra, thank you so much for your time today. Taking time out of your busy schedule here. You're here.
Thank you so much.
At what I believe is your first Gitex.
Yes.
And you are here in the capacity of as the CTO and co-founder of a company called Task Tracker.
Yes.
That's just arrived here in the UAE.
Yes.
Must be very exciting times for you.
Yes, it is. It's actually, it's been a very exciting last 3 months for us setting up our operations here in Dubai and in the UAE. It's our first international stop. We've been in India for the last 2 years. Now we have decided to make the foray through, the gateway that we have been provided here in Dubai and the UAE.
You are a company that claims to provide best-in-class service for people management tools. You provide user-friendly, smart, cost-effective solutions. What really sets Task Tracker apart from the others in that domain, and how do you think that is going to disrupt the market here in the UAE?
Sure. Actually, just to give you a little bit of background, so I came upon Task Tracker, and when we created it, we actually created it for a need that we had as a business, as a SME in India. We had a team of about 70 people, and we were struggling on how to manage them. Now, how Task Tracker came about, and that what sets us apart is we are actually very, very simple. It's a smart, simple tool which actually can be implemented in less than 10 minutes. it is team agnostic, so you can implement it in every department. And the best part is that it is extremely affordable. The sort of savings that we give to our users is amazing. So when they are actually adopting technology, those are the two things that actually are the barriers, right? Number one is that the tools available are extremely hard. And if you even decide to do that, it cannot be implemented across organizations. So we bridge the gap between blue and white collar. And then finally, because we come at an affordable price, that's how we are going to disrupt this market. So, we are sector agnostic as well. So we are hoping to be everywhere and helping every small business achieve their goals.
Talk us through what sort of support you got at the start when you first thought of setting up business, and eventually the fact that you're here. Talk us through that journey and what sort of support you got.
So, that's the beauty of UAE and Dubai. Today they are turning out to be the pioneers of innovation technology. If you actually dig a bit deeper and look at the D33 vision, you see that 400 businesses will be given support and accelerated. The next 10 unicorns has to be from the region. And that's the sort of enthusiasm and support we have seen right across the board. Our company was set up in an hour. We were given market access through IXL almost immediately, and we were able to, we were having discussions with our clients. In our journey so far, which is about less than 90 days, we have already acquired paying clients in the region. So that's the sort of excitement that we see. That's the sort of support that we see. I should not, as good as saying that they laid out the red carpet from the government standpoint, as well as all their partners in the region so far.
How would you talk about the support that you get from bodies like iAxle? What sort of collaborative support you've got, and that helped you to basically get plugged into the system right away?
Nothing short of amazing. IXL from day one has been hand-holding us, guiding us all through the way. We do not need to go look for legal support or even, simple things like office space. And, they took care of ensuring all the paperwork is in order. When you actually sit back, these are very simple things, but they are extremely tedious, right? And that's what we say, the cost or how fast can you set up a business and actually start doing business in a region. So partners like IXL really play a very, very big role. And in addition to that, they are connecting us to the right people because as a startup, fundraise is one of, the prime objectives as well, which they have been fairly instrumental in doing. So it's a great partnership. And, we were just this morning, I was at North Star, which is part of Gitex, meeting people. And that's the beauty, right? We were able to collaborate and talk to someone in Brazil. So Latin America is a market that could open up for us. We were talking to someone in Azerbaijan, and they were really excited to see the solution. It's been great. It's just been great.
It's like a gateway to the world. Dubai has been a gateway to the world.
And that was one of the strategic moves as well on our behalf. Dubai has always been a trading hub, has always been a pioneer where other countries or are looking up to them within the region. Dubai gives us access to Middle East. Dubai gives us access to South Asia. Dubai gives us access to Africa. We can cover Europe as well, and now Americas are also not far away. So it's a great place to be for a startup like ours with all the support that we are getting.
You founded in 2021 back home in India.
Yes.
You worked with over 7,000 companies before you finally made up your mind of coming here, settling down. Why now? Is it because, of course, you've explained how Dubai is your gateway to the wider world, but is it also because Dubai has been, at the top of everything at this point in time in terms of economy and the growth overall?
Yes, actually, what really motivates us and why we chose Dubai was there are three key aspects in my opinion, right? One is the government. The government with the Dubai digitization strategic program that they have really are in the forefront of digitizing even their day-to-day operations,
Yes.
right? So the government is giving you full support.
You've gone paperless many years ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and as you see in the business process as well, everything is digital. I have nothing. I don't have even one shred of paper.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going, when the government gives that sort of mandate, it automatically translates into businesses digitizing themselves, and that's where the Task Tracker suite comes in. We want to be that player who's helping traditional businesses digitize their various teams and their various departments, right? Otherwise, digitization was a very white collar, was a very blue collar sort of, a term used. But now if we can bridge the gap between white collar and blue collar, and we can help these businesses digitize. Now the government is pro, the businesses want to digitize, and now you can see people are adopting to the digital wave. Now when you put these three together, it forms a lethal combination, and we feel it is perfect for our growth.
According to a report earlier this year, Dubai tops the Arab world and is 12th in a list of 100 startup environments. How have you felt that personally? How much do you resonate with those rankings? Do they really matter? Have you felt it?
Yes, they do. And the biggest example is if you look around you, right, with just Gitex, the sort of excitement, the sort of exposure that is coming, I have not seen that anywhere else. You have startups from all over the world, may it be Japan, may it be Israel, may it be India. You have countries setting up pavilions and showcasing their startups. So there has to be something in the air of Dubai and UAE, which actually gets all our entrepreneurs extremely excited about it. Every time I go, it's so easy to access and talk to people. The government has multiple initiatives where it is helping us gain market access, because at the end of the day, that is what you're looking at. So yes, definitely feel it every day, every single day that I'm here.
Your thoughts on funding, raising funding, because Dubai has been also a hub for founders and startup, founders, VCs, raising funds. Dubai has attracted majority of the region's earliest, seed funding. Your thoughts on raising more fundings?
That is something that is something ongoing. We are talking to partners as well. What we believe is that we would like to first prove that we are here in this market, and that's another move that we have made, is that we have actually set up base here in Dubai, and fairly positive conversations, and there might be some good news around the corner very soon.
I wish you all the luck, Rishab.
Thank you
Chandra.
so much
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much.
With that, it's a wrap on this episode of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.